Today we have Jim Miller with us. Jim is the CEO of EP Management. It's a consulting group for chiropractors. They've been in business for over 15 years, and he's helped several thousand chiropractors in the U.S. and Canada. And he has some very valuable information, and we're lucky enough to actually have him here and to be able to share his information with our viewers. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Randy.
So what do you want to talk about today?
The secret of efficiency.
All right.
Yeah. One of the things I find is a lot of doctors find that they don't have enough time in the day. Not enough time, so they're too busy and get stressed out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So what I want to cover today is a little bit on some basic tools that they can do to be more efficient.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So one of the secrets of efficiency is actually completing the task at hand. So let's take soap notes, for example.
Okay.
All right. Doctor adjusts the patient, doesn't do his soap, adjusts the next patient, etc. And then waits to the end of the day to do his soaps.
Yeah.
Okay. But then the wife calls and says, I want you home for dinner. So basically he has all these notes in his head that he hasn't completed.
Right.
So that gives that overwhelming feeling, spinny, what we call scattered brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Also, you have the liability that maybe he forgets some of the details.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of a big liability.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So one of the things I tell doctors to do is when you're done adjusting that patient, complete the soap right there. The patient can wait another minute. Right? And that way, when he's done at the end of the day, his head is clear. It's all fresh. He doesn't have all this weighing on his mind.
You know, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like when I have a lot of things that I haven't completed, I have attention on those things.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to kind of put my attention on something else that might be what I should have my attention on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You know, one of the analogies I use is kind of like when you have all your attention on all these different things that you didn't complete. It's kind of like a garden hose that's putting out a little mist. Like when you're watering the flowers, you turn it to mist and it goes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then you can also turn it to a jet, and it takes the paint off your house.
Right.
Okay. There's the same amount of water coming out of that hose.
Yeah.
And
good point. Yeah.
And if we put all our attention on one thing at a time, it's like, boom, done. But when we're scattered all over the place, we don't have any power.
Wow.
We're very weak. Not a whole lot gets done.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
So, you know, completing the task at hand is key. And with soaps, I mean, you guys even have Report Master.
Well, true. In fact, that's what we hear from our clients, that they're able to complete their soaps and not have that hanging on and not procrastinate and do the things that they used to do that took their attention. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long does it take to do a soap with Report Master?
30 seconds once you know what you're doing.
See?
Yeah.
And a patient can wait 30 seconds, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you know, when we take a look at like why a doctor's not implementing certain procedures that he knows he should, maybe he's working with a consulting group and he has all these manuals he wants to implement. He's not implementing them because he doesn't have any time. And that's because he's not completing a task one at a time.
So if a guy just went at each thing with total focus and finished it, then he'd get it all done and he'd have the time.
Correct. Because if you ask any doctor or go into any doctor's office, he'll look at that note or paper or whatever procedure, and he'll look at it again at the end of the day. But he still didn't finish it, and then he'll look at it maybe even a third time.
Right.
So he's looked at the same thing 3 times. Well, that's not very efficient, is it?
No. Well, that's a great tip.
All right.
Well, thank you for that. To get additional practice-building tips, Jim actually has some information that you can have for free. In fact, if you just fill out our survey, you'll see the button on the email we sent you. We'll actually send you a link, and you can have it for free. And it's very valuable information that will help you build your practice. Jim, thank you for coming.
You're welcome, Randy.
All right.
So let me just tell you one more thing about the secret to efficiency. Okay. I have a success story from a client where she was seeing about 40 patient visits a week. And it was totally unreal to her that she could see any more because she was so busy and had no life.
Right.
Well, when I investigated, what I found what she was doing was she was saving all her notes for the end of the day. She'd take all these files home with her, sit them at the end of her bed. Friends would call her and invite her out for a movie or dinner. She goes, no, I got to get these notes done.
Right.
Then, of course, she was watching TV.
God.
Maybe get 1 or 2 done. Lug them all back to her office the next day.
Oh, gosh.
And this process just never ended.
Right.
Okay. So she was very burned out, not profitable by any means.
Right.
So I got her to actually do something different, which was unreal to her. It's like, no, I can't have people wait. People should never wait. It's like, no, have the patient wait.
Yeah.
Complete all the paperwork for that patient right then and there before you see the next patient.
Yeah.
her numbers went up to 120 patient visits.
Wow.
And more importantly, she started having a social life again.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Okay.
So this is great advice. Well, thank you for coming.
You're very welcome.